Welcome to Late to the Show. I'm your host, Prophet74. Today I have another Alienware 17R4. Now, this one's different because the first one, they had a little couple issues with the heat sink where it was overheating. It was melting away the actual liquid that goes over it, the actual cement. So now on this one, there was a couple of issues that were fixed from the last one. So we ended up buying a different version. I never had issues with the other one. I hadn't had the problems where people are complaining about the heating issue. It hasn't happened yet. I'm still using the other one, and I'm using it constantly on a daily basis. I have a group of people using it for BIM development, Autodesk, and they're constantly overheating the system, constantly rendering, and we haven't had an issue yet. So I was happy with the first version that I ended up buying another one. Now on this one, it's a little different because there's a couple fixes that they did fix from the last one. They were very minor. It's about, you can't notice them. It's all internal fixes, so it's all between Dell. And now this one, let's open it up. So you get the same black box. It has a handle too. I kind of tuck it in so I could be able to open it up. Now what you get in here, let's open it up. Let's put it on this side. Now what you get here is you get a unique box in here, pretty much. You know, I like the whole cement, the whole area. Now this whole thing here, it's just for the power cord. The power cord is a huge, a massive amount of weight that they put in the back. So that you're gonna need, of course. Now this one is the heaviest one. This sucker is about almost 20 pounds, I would say. It's about, cutting it close, 20 pounds. But the actual monitor takes on the whole space. It's an awesome monitor. I mean, if you're gonna be traveling a lot and you want to play all the unique games, this has a 1080 video card in here. It comes with a 32 gig memory, and it has a 520 hard drive, SSD drive, and it has another solid state. It has not a solid state, but it has another hard drive, just a regular hard drive, but it has a terabyte to 2 terabytes depending on what model you get. It's really unique. It's really awesome. Now the back part of it, it's probably one of the largest part of it that you see. It's because all the heat needs to go somewhere else, and the video card is located right in the back of the system. So what you get with it, you get the computer, you get your manual, and you get your registry form, of course. You know, now this has 1 year warranty with them, but you have an option to buy 3 to 4 years warranty with Dell or with Amazon. And my recommendation is get at least a 2-year warranty, because these machines, if you're gonna spend $2,800 on a machine like this, I guarantee you something's gonna happen down the line. So you wanted to maintain it at least for a couple of years. My guarantee is like, get it for 2-year warranty at least. You know, these machines are very expensive, and if you're gonna be moving around from place to place, they're not meant to be moving around too much. I mean, I can't see somebody going to actually Starbucks and using this sucker because it is huge. Now, if you're gonna be traveling with it, you need a special backpack for this. No backpack is able to carry this. Now Dell Alienware makes a backpack just for this. It's a pretty solid backpack. It's a whole rubbery outside and cotton everywhere, so in case you drop it, it's a big backpack you're gonna have to carry. Now they don't sell that many backpacks this size of the machine because it's a very unique style of it. It's huge. It's one of the largest computers I've seen so far, besides the MSI. Now the great thing about this, when you turn it on, there's a great features about it. I like the little Alienware that pops up in the front. So all right, here's the freaking computer right from the back. So the best thing I like about this, the whole neon keyboard, this whole mouse pad lights up in different colors. You could change it. Now you could change all the LED lights. Of course, they still have the sensors here, built in some sensors in here for your eye tracking. It's kind of a useless, a unique way of controlling your mouse, and it's not very something that I see in the future to happen to everywhere now that the AR and VRs are here. This machine is capable of handling any VR system out there, from the Vive to the actual Oculus, and to any futuristic, any machine that is coming out right now so far, and this year, especially the Microsoft, which is the low end of it. Now the VR HTC Vive that's a workhorse. You need something like this to work it out. Now, I like all these programmer buttons. The video card and the audio card are outstanding here. We're gonna open it up so you guys can take a look at it, see what I'm talking about. Now, the video camera itself, it's located right here in the back, right here in the front. I'm sorry. It's a pretty decent little camera. It's not the greatest camera. I would recommend you getting another digital camera if you're going to be doing YouTubing on it, because it's not, these computers don't concentrate on the camera. They pretty much concentrate on the hardware itself. Now, I like the full keyboard itself. You know, you have the numpad here, and you have all these functions in here that you can control. Now, everything lights up. We're going to try to get it up and running right now, especially this part. I like how it lights up at night. So we're going to, first of all, before we get there, we're going to open it up and see the inside. Now, one thing I want to let you know, this screw, you actually have to remove them now. Before, you didn't have to remove them. You just unscrew them a little bit and they were able to come out and pop out. But now you have to remove the whole screw. That's a different thing I see from this machine. So, except for one exception with one screw on the top, that one stays there permanent. This is how it was, all of them, and they pretty much just pop out. There were small little screws that you were able to remove. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at it, see what unique changes have been made. Now, I still see the same theme pretty much set up. Now, they changed the color of this. They actually have it a different color now. They seems like they dipped it into something to kind of cool it down. This is a unique area. That's probably the number one thing I see that's different from the last cooling system. The radiator part, it's a different color. Before, it was a copper thing. It was pretty much meant like all the rest of the cooling systems. Now, it seems like they cooled it down in a different substance and it dipped it in some sort of paint that will retain some sort of heat. That's new. That's totally new for me. Now, the hard drives are still located. There's still one hard drive located here, which is the 2 terabytes, 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte, depending on what you get. Here's the other additional hard drive that you get, the SSD, and this is 512 gigs. And of course, you have space for one more here. And the unique part of it is that you could actually add an Optane here. If you guys never used this to actually, it's an extended memory, I would recommend you buying it and put it in this little slot, the SSD slot number 2. And this will make your machine run a lot better and faster. So, I used it from experience. I'm letting you guys know that it's a unique thing. Now, I don't see nothing different from the last review I did, other than the memories in the same spot, the additional hard drive. The other M2 slot is actually for a smaller version of a hard drive in here. And this is a pretty unique area that you could buy the smaller, the older version of the memory, the hard drive they used to have. Now, this is the newer one, of course, and then they do have a solid state hard drive that you could actually replace this one. The 2 terabyte is just a regular system, regular hard drive that I don't recommend you putting a lot of information in here, because throughout the time this might overheat and might damage your hard drive too. So the heat might be extended all the way to the back, but you never know. When it dust settles in here, starts clogging out certain areas, that it might overheat certain things in here. I'm not gonna recommend you just make sure that you just back up your stuff, or not to run a lot of constantly on data in here, or important data, because these systems, any kind of laptop is not meant to last, and sometimes people drop them, spill water, and you know, my recommendation is not to have any valuable data on these computers. This is just pretty much for a gaming system, video editing, and also rendering. If you're a programmer, if you're developing games, like you're using the Unreal Engine, or if you're using Autodesk, this is really unique for you. This is actually made for you. Now, the sad thing is there's only 2 slots in here. So if you want to upgrade to the next one to 64, you're going to have to remove both of them, buying 60. You're going to have to buy two 32 gigs memory chips right now. This is 16, and 16 is going to make 32. So we're running at 32 right now. Really awesome little machine. Highly recommend it. Now, the audio itself is just a unique audio, man. It's really loud. I like the whole setup on it. Now, there's a couple things that are connected in here, and you can always upgrade on the next version. Now, there is, like I said in the last video, you could replace the battery. you're just going to have to remove this whole plastic that goes around the whole system. Now, the battery is located right here, right below. You would have to disconnect these two functions in here, these two connections, and it's replaceable. So after a year, when it starts fading, or a year or two, you can always come back and replace it, which is a unique item to do. Now, let's take a look at the side of the computer. Now, first of all, we're going to talk about the exterior. It comes with a little mesh in there for all the heat to be pushed out. My recommendation, when you place one of these on your desk, maybe add some little height to it so vents could actually work and spread the heat out. Don't ever block these vents in the back too. It's very important not to block them or add anything against it, or bookshelves or any papers on it, because people attempt to do that and these things overheat a lot. Now, one unique part of it, let's flip it over to the side. I want to take a look at this part. Now, one thing I gotta mention in here that's very important. This is the USB, the new one, the new connections, the USB they're coming out with it now. This is another SSD connection. You can actually, it's a 3.0, but it actually, you could connect hard drives in here. It's pretty neat, pretty fast, unique little way transfer. You got your audio in and out. You got your speaker, your mic, and your headset too. So the only thing is there is no hard drive. There is no external or pop-up DVD player on this. There is a lock part of it. You can lock your system in here. Now let's take a look at the back of it. Now, this was a really unique item. So let me get some lighting in here so you guys can see it. There you go. This is the best part of this system. So say in a couple years, the system gets outdated with the video card. That's okay, because there is a port here that they have a unique system. A lot of computers are coming out with it, especially Mac now. They're trying to push it out. Now this one's for another a part of the system. You could actually buy it. It's under $300. It's I'll put a picture of it so see how it looks. It's actually an extra port where you can add video cards. You can actually add up to 2 video cards on that system and run it through here. Now this is a unique thing. It has another USB, the 4, and then it has HDMI, and it has a display port, which is a Thunderbolt pretty much, and then you have your NIC card in here. Now let's go back in here. Now in a couple years, when you want to update your video card, and of course you can't really update video cards on laptops that much, but here it's a unique way. You buy the actual extra hardware and you add the video card that you want, and it's like a brand new computer again. Other than the memory and the hard drive, you can upgrade those things, but this is a unique area to actually do. I'll add more information about it. If you have any questions, like I said, let me know. Now let's spin it one more time, because this is a heavy sucker. You have another USB here. It's just one by itself. It's not that bad, and that's pretty much, there's vents in here on the side, and that's pretty much what it is. I'm not gonna really go into details. I already reviewed this machine before, so if you like what you see, let me know, and tell me what you guys think about it. Well, this concludes the actual small review on this machine. I have done a review on this one, and I got a little more thorough. The only thing I went into this one is just to give you the update of what they've done on it. It's not a big changes on it, but it is a big change for the internal hardware. Love the machine. It's highly recommended for people, like I said, unique people are using it for rendering. High-end video games that you want to play. It's a 1080. It's an 8 gig video card in here. The vents are pretty solid. I have not seen it fail. I bought 3 of them already, and they've been working very, very well for a couple of months already since I purchased the first one. Now, the only recommendation I would do, if you buy the cheaper version of it, maybe down the line buy more of the memory, more of the hardware, because the SSD is 512. Not a lot of stuff fit in there. If you work with Autodesk, they take gigs of it, and then sooner or later you're gonna be left with nothing. Now you do have the option of the secondary hard drive to run the applications over there, but they're not gonna run as fast as the SSD chip. So my recommendation, maybe get a larger SSD when they become more cheaper and available. Then that's what I would do on my recommendation. If you guys like what you see, please subscribe to the show. I'm your host, Prophet74, out.